Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to an episode of my F1 2019 Manager Career Mode here with Red Bull Honda for round number 14 today, the penultimate race of this season at the Brazilian Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the previous one, then be sure to go check that one out before you see this one. But head into this episode then after a very good USA Grand Prix with a second 1-2 in a row, 8 wins in total this year for Red Bull compared to the 5 for Mercedes. We're now ahead 87 points in first place, and Verstappen is ahead by 14, which sounds like a lot, but could easily be swung back. You never know. There's 2 races to go, and Hamilton, if he gets into first place, he is usually very OP, and that's the difference. He hasn't ever been in first place in the last 2 races, I believe. I think he was maybe first place for a little bit at USA, but he was on hard tyres versus mediums, and so it was never, even if he's that OP, hard tyres are so horrendous around Phoenix anyway, and previously in Japan, he never got into the lead, so we were able to kind of, downplay, I guess, his OP stats when he gets into the lead and try and control him, essentially. So we kind of got a little bit lucky in that kind of sense, in a way, but also at the same time, we've been putting ourselves into positions to take that track position from him and then control the race from there on our own accord. So, we've done a great job, I think, as a team, to be fair, and so we can't take away from that. So, going after that, wow, 1-2 has to go down as a dream weekend for you. What's the secret? I'm going to say it's down to the drivers, boost their egos a little bit, trying to champion them a little bit, try and get a little bit more morale going on, because it does affect the things like stats and whatnot. We've got more pit crew to manage here. I'm going to go for, hang on, I just need to go to scouting here. I need to reject most of these guys. We could maybe hire the 18. Let me just quickly check. Do we need to replace? Yeah, see, if we want to hire one, we need to basically replace him because we've got a maximum of people we've hired. So I'm just going to leave on auto. It seems like the computer's doing a fabulous job, like I said, at managing all of that. And also now from last episode, we're not making any more new parts really effectively. We're making a new part, which is going to be a risky part, which will set ourselves up for next season. But for this year, pretty much we're going to get no new parts. So now we've got to just make sure we can control the lead we've got in the drivers and constructors into the end of the season, and hope Mercedes don't have a last-minute, surprise package update that's going to make their car worldly compared to ours in the last 2 races, really. But as we go on then, we've got some emails about team championship targets, but nothing much else to talk about in terms of admin. Race report is 35% of rain at Brazil, which is pretty okay. That could come into play, but also probably more likely not. But it does say raining in practice and the race here in terms of that. So along with the percentage, it very much could. So that could play into it in terms of spicing up the Brazilian Grand Prix. But we're going to get into the Brazilian Grand Prix straight away then. No other admin to do. Alpine stars as per usual. Like I said, that rain is maybe going to come. But in terms of the medium tyre we're usually on slick tyres, we'll take in 5 sets of ultras. I'll take in plenty of supers because that was very useful in Brazil. We managed to make a very good strategy work, I think, last season. So 5-7-3 we'll go with. And part fitting wise, from last race, pretty much nothing's changed in terms of new parts we've got. We've improved the brakes even more. So I'll give those, you know what, Gasly can have those new brakes, he can actually have them. Verstappen's still happy with those ones he had beforehand, so yeah, I'll give those new brakes to him, but the rest of it's pretty much going to Verstappen then, as per, obviously, it's last 2 races, can't afford to, leave some performance on the table maybe, but one part's not going to make so much of a difference, I don't think. This is when it horribly goes wrong, and it does make all the difference in the world, but let's get into practice then. Alright, heading into this then, on the super soft tyres, it was a very good tyre to use at the Brazilian Grand Prix, I remember, and obviously this entire season, really, it's been the story of the middle compound rules all in terms of flexibility for us on the setup. It just, for the player, when sometimes you can make mistakes on the strategy, as I do sometimes make mistakes on the strategy, the flexibility that the middle tyre gives you is just so much better, really, than kind of, forcing yourself to go with something a bit too overly aggressive. In terms of rain, there will be some rain later on, so I think knowledge on the dry tyre may be quite useless, actually, here for this weekend. So this actually might be quite a spicy and kind of spanning the works race here, because if the entire grid don't have dry tyre knowledge, and there is going to be some rain in the race, it might be a case of the knowledge on the inters, which will pay out. And in terms of also just how the races ran in the wet, might be a little bit different. So let's see how things go. But setup-wise, we're looking okay as a baseline there. Need to do a bit of tweaking. So I was hoping for maybe one excellent somewhere or other. But still, 92% is not bad. But probably going to go lower on the downforce than it seems like. There's more to go on the lower downforce side of things. So let's go about there. Maybe it's going to be the excellent handling-wise. Just maybe a tiny bit more towards understeer. And then, I don't know, I imagine speed bounce, there's a bit more to go towards acceleration, so I'm just going to say let's go with that and see how that works out for us. But I don't know, it would make sense if we had lower downforce to go towards top end speed, but that makes too much sense for this game. So we'll go out on the slick tires again, do a quick lap here just before we come in for the inters, because the rain's coming down, but it's not fully down yet. 89% for Gasly, so we can probably go a little bit lower on the downforce again. Handling wise, I don't know, he could go either way, to be honest, so I could go towards oversteer and see how that goes for him, and then let's go towards acceleration like we did with Verstappen and see how that works out. We'll go full laps as well. So both drivers wanting a little bit different springs and different handling styles from the car, maybe around Sao Paulo, but the rain is now fully down, so we'll bring them in straight away, and then we'll go on to inters once we've checked up this setup. But hopefully this setup is pretty decent now, I would hope, as we come in, and no, it's not. It is horrendous. It's gone the other way. So, what do you know? It was actually quite logical. We wanted to go towards top-end speed, so we're going to go back to this, and then this was good, that was good, so actually in the middle might be the kind of way to go for the downforce, but then speed balance for sure. I think going towards the top end speed is going to be the way to go. So that might be excellent, and then those were both great, so that doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest, so I'll just stay with that. We'll go 8 laps on inters, and then with Gasly, I will do the same thing pretty much. You need to go towards the long gearbox. I'll go back to this setup, go back to the long gearbox. That was great, so yeah, something like that, and good. And that was good. So again, in the middle somewhere might be the one to go for. And then downforce-wise, that was great. That was great. So again, I don't really know. In the middle again of that could be it. So let's see. A lot of middles of where we are. 8 laps and inters. Right, go out, lads. Get the inter knowledge. We might. Well, that's actually, if I'm getting a lot of inters knowledge, I'm kind of hoping we have to use the inters in the race. May as well, if we're going to end up getting like 2-3 levels of it. Right, got level 3 on everything now on the race and intermediate, so we'll bring them in, and basically now, I don't know, because it's raining the entire session, we're just kind of checking their setups then, really, trying to maybe fine-tune them. Got 2 greats and an excellent for Gasly, so that's looking pretty damn good. 97%, so that's pretty decent, so I don't need to do him again. Verstappen, let's see, if he can get 97, that'd be ideal. If not, then we'll tweak him a little bit more, but hopefully we'll be about there. 1 excellent and 2 greats, but let's see the percentage-wise what that's going to be. 96, so a little bit of tweaking. Could it like fine-tune maybe somewhere in there? I don't know. That's okay. That's great. That's great. So maybe just a little tiny tweak of in the middle of these two could be the excellent we're looking for there. So let's quickly check that. Because may as well try and get the max performance we can if we've got the time to spare in practice, which we do, clearly, as the rain, like I said, is going to stay to the end. I mean, our car's looking pretty damn handy right now in practice, but obviously we'll have to wait and see how our grid slot is and what the race kind of has in store. If it is going to be quite dry for a lot of the race, then this is going to be, like I said, a massive kind of like unknown quantity for a lot of people in terms of what their pace is like mid-race with whatever tyres they choose. Again, if it is dry for a lot of the race, I probably will end up choosing the middle compound tyre. And this entire time, I just realised I forgot to bring Verstappen in to check this setup. Let's do that right now. And hope it right at the end as Ericsson spins in practice. Let's see, right at the end. There we go. 2 excellents to the greats. So pretty damn good. Good preparation for the race ahead. Let's get into that then. And let's hope the grid slot's not too harsh on us this time. So it is raining at the start of this Grand Prix. It's then going to get dry. It looks like there might be a little bit more rain later on. I don't know. I can't tell. That's maybe just my eyes playing tricks on me. But it looks like there might be a little bit more of a sprinkle of rain later. So knowledge-wise, I mean, we have to take in race trim. And then, I don't know. Yeah, I think level 3 inters. We've got level 1 on those kind of light-footed traits. But I don't think that's going to make much of a difference there. So we're going to go for those 2 that we basically got in practice. And basically everyone's going to be in the same boat once it gets dry. But we need to go to lap 15 on inters. These should go even longer. Lap 44, yeah. So tyre wear really shouldn't be a big issue for us. It shouldn't be a concern. So we can just get into this race and just think about, you know, pushing hard basically. And grid slot wise, Verstappen, the championship leader, this can't be a coincidence. He's in last place. He's 24th. Gasly's in P6 though, so Gasly could do some absolute work there. Hamilton's in P4. Hamilton's P4 and Verstappen's P24. So that can't be that's too much of a coincidence to actually be like that. So I think maybe GMA did some fishy stuff there, trying to make this championship extra interesting in this race into the next finale one. So we'll see how it goes. But Gasly hopefully can rep for us and try and you know, maybe just put Hamilton off a little bit. Maybe let's see. But here we go then to 5 red lights to the Brazilian Grand Prix from last place and 6th on the grid. We'll look at the Gasly off the line. It's a slow one there, but he maintains P6, but then it gets overtaken by Alonso and Russell and Ricciardo maybe in the Renault. So Gasly straight away, not that great in the rain it would seem. He's down to P15. He's doing horrendous. Meanwhile, Verstappen's up into P20. He might get up the order. He's got a trait of being good in the wet. So let's see. He's up into P19, 16, 15. Gasly's back up into P9. He's settling down. Verstappen, let's use some ERS here. Get past that Renault car. Gasly, use some up the hill maybe and try and close up, and then I'll go auto. So we're now P9 and 11. Hamilton, though, is straight away second place, chasing down this man, Sebastian Vettel. They're already in a class of their own, 2 seconds ahead of Lando Norris in third place, who's fighting hard against someone. And Gasly has caused a collision. He's got, damage to his front wing. He's crashed with someone. He's caused a collision. No action taken, so he's still okay. And to be honest, his front wing's 16%, so I'm going to keep him out for now, because he still might have okay pace. I'll say let Verstappen through, because there's no point fighting Verstappen with a broken front wing, but I'll keep him going because he still might have okay pace for a few laps here, and then we'll pit on to another new set of intermediates and really push those inters very hard indeed, because he's up into P6. So that's how fast our car is, even with a broken front wing. I need to save a lot of fuel now with Verstappen because he's on -2, which is not very good, not what we need. Gasly still going strong on 16% front wing and actually closing up to Verstappen somewhat. Mechanical issue for Max Chilton. He's retiring. I'm going to pit in now for Gasly onto these inters and change this front wing. Fix that part. Battery charge 100%. Fast pit stop, please. Right, let's get in there. Make that pit stop. Verstappen's not too far ahead, you can see. Verstappen's right there. There's been a driving mistake by Gasly. He goes off and wide there with the broken front wing. That's probably the very only reason he's made that mistake. But Verstappen, because he's on low fuel right now, he's the only man on low fuel right now. He's not got too much pace compared to our there. And Hamilton, P3, is already 13 seconds up the road, and Verstappen has just been overtaken by our. So, yeah, the low fuel, I think we burnt a bit too much fuel at the start there. I wasn't paying enough attention, which is kind of my bad, so now we're going to have to pay the price a little bit. Whereas Gasly now is in P19, and he has a lot of work to do to get points now in this race. So, this just got interesting. This Mercedes have a good chance of getting a lot of points back on us, and Hamilton is looking pretty good for now to get some points back in this championship fight. Right, another mechanical issue. Nico Hülkenberg's retiring in the Toro Rosso car on lap 11. We're still minus 1.27 for Verstappen, so he's really not good at saving fuel right now in the intermediate conditions, whereas Gasly now is up into P15. Made a good overtake there. He goes around the outside of that spluttering car. And George Russell, though, has crashed. He was in the top 5. He was P7. Then he's crashed. So at the moment, it is Vettel, Hamilton, Auer, and Verstappen there. Auer is just there in comparison, so he's had a lot more pace with that, obviously, lack of having to be bottlenecked by the fuel. And Hamilton is doing a good job to chase after Vettel for first place here. So, you know, worst case scenario, I'm thinking here, if Hamilton gets 27 points, we get 15, 12. That's 15 points back. Hamilton could take the lead of the championship, you know, so we need to try and aim for third place minimum, try and keep the championship lead here into Doha. Right, pushing both drivers now, because it soon will be time to come in for dry tyres. So now's the time to really push, and don't need to worry about wrecking the tyres too much. And Raikkonen's coming on ultras, so I think that's our cue to come in as well. I don't know if Hamilton will come in or not. Let's see. Is he coming in? Doesn't look like it. It's still a little bit damp, but don't think it's. I think it's dry enough to come in. So let's use all the ERS on the entry, and we'll come in for. Well, there is going to be another wet period at lap 38 or 39. So in that case, I'll play it safe, I think, and go on super softs. Ultras technically could go the way, but I remember at Brazil, they're so horrendous to try and look after. So, going to go for supers, play it safe there. Come in, lads. Same thing for Gasly. He'll come in as well. On to supers, park ignition, recharge, 100%. Fast pit stop. Where is he now? He's just here, so we'll use the ERS off this corner as well. Verstappen's in, though. Hopefully, with the fast pit stop, no mistake. Come on. Yep, no mistake there. On to super soft tyres. We'll go on auto. We'll push on the outlap and go. Gasly's in as well. Hopefully no mistake for him as well. Done some great work with the pit crew on auto. And Gasly's now up in P9. He's actually done really well to recover up into P9, actually. Fair play, lad. And we'll go back to pushing a medium. And I'll go to pushing a medium now with Verstappen as well. And we'll just push for the outlaps. Overheat the tyres a little bit and then bring them back into temps as we overtake no one. We don't get a jump on anyone, but we do gain about 2 seconds an hour. So that's the only caveat there. So let's calm things down now. straight away you saw how quickly that temperature gauge went up on pushing. So Brazil is such a bad track for tyre heating. But now we go conserve and try and catch our, hopefully. Oh, Leclerc has crashed and the safety car has come out there. Full safety car out. Leclerc has crashed for 2 races in a row now. He crashed at Phoenix and he's crashed here. So very crash prone. It's not going to really affect much for the race because everyone's made their pit stop earlier on with the transition period. So everyone will just be able to save fuel basically and save tyre wear, I guess. Which is going to be the detriment to us because obviously we're on super soft tyres. We're the only guys on super soft tyres. So it's not really going to help us that other people will be helped out with tyre wear. Which is a shame, but... we went. That's what happens when you go for flexibility. Sometimes it doesn't pay off always in your kind of way, but at least we'll save fuel, which is good because we need to desperately save a lot of fuel with Verstappen there. But now we're heading to the garage very, very soon, so I'm going to go up into medium fuel with both drivers, go on full out attack as well. And with Verstappen, I'll save the ERS and we'll use it manually as we get going here. Going to use all of it now. Let's try and push on, get our. He's got our, just about. He's up into 3rd place, pushing hard. Gasly's there as well. Let's use some ERS off that corner with Gasly. He's up into P4. And in fact, Gasly is right behind. I'm going to go back to allowing them to race on the strategy because if he is faster than Verstappen, fair play, go ahead and overtake him. But for now, we're good like we are. Tyres overheated. Let's now bring these back down to earth, please, on backup. But both are now sitting pretty, nose to tail here in P3 and 4. We're lap 29. Gasly's been re-overtaken by Hour's coming back at us a little bit. I suspect he's on neutral, but we're on conserve. So I guess we can afford to push a bit more. Obviously, we are on supers, so we can go a lot longer. So maybe we just start overheating the tyres and try and push them on a little bit longer with both drivers. Let's go pushing. And we're on high fuel because both of them have now enough fuel to use around. Right, Gasly back up into P4. We've been doing flat out attack now because the rain is going to start coming down in a few laps time. So had to go for it. Going to actually back them up a little bit and bring the temps down just a tad. And now I'll go again with full out attack. High full out attack. Use all the ERS down that straight Verstappen. And the same thing for Gasly. Let's use all the ERS here. As, what was that? Grosjean who crashed? Grosjean did crash, yeah, lap 35. Rain's going to come down in about 2 laps time. So keep going like this, guys. Looking good. Tyres overheating, that's fine. Fast up the Grand Prix now by Verstappen with tyres overheated. He loses a bit of time now as the rain comes down and it's getting a little bit slippery. There are people on inters. Do we go on inters right now? Do we go early? Verstappen's losing a lot of time on this in lap. So yeah, I'm going to say let's go early with Verstappen. Come in, recharge battery, 100%. I can't afford to double stack them, so I'm going to have to say to Gasly, we'll go on for 1 more lap, son, and we'll save a lot of fuel later on as well because we've got a full out attack. Because Gasly seems to be a lot better at saving fuel now in this race than Verstappen has been. Right, Gasly's gained about 3/10 there, so he had a good in-lap, much better in-lap than Verstappen did. So he's going to come out in P4 just behind, or P5 just behind. Obviously, the top 3 yet to pit, but we're pushing hard now and trying to jump them if we can. We need to go medium with Gasly, use the ERS though. Let's go pushing as well. And let's just go like this in tandem and see what we can do now against Auer and Vettel and Hamilton as they come in finally. And we're going to be up into P3 and 4. Tyres overheated now. Let's bring those tyre temps back down because we have a bit of way to go. Not too much, but still, we can't afford to completely wreck them. But pretty much like I said, once Hamilton gets in the lead, he just controls it so well. He's 13 seconds ahead, 14 seconds ahead of Vettel here. So he's just been dominating this race now once he got in the lead. Vettel's 2nd place, looking pretty comfy as well, unfortunately. The Ferrari car looking okay. We might be able to catch him, maybe 5 seconds. But we're not gaining a second a lap or 2 seconds a lap or anything like that. We're actually going slower a little bit because we're conserving the tyres now. So I don't know if we can get 2nd place. With 3rd place, if Hamilton was to get to fast up the Grand Prix and we got 3rd, I think we'd just about keep the championship lead just about into Doha. So that's still pretty good, I would say. And my bad, actually. We are catching Vettel very rapidly, actually, in fact. We caught up way more than I thought so. Our pace hasn't been quite good. It's more just so Vettel's pace has been slow because he's backing up, actually. So I think he must have overheated his tyres a little bit, or now he's going full out attack. So let's try and maybe copy him a little bit later. We've also got, I need to save some fuel with Verstappen as well. It's a bit of a cat and mouse game then, basically, between Verstappen and Vettel right now. Right, 3 laps remaining. Going to go full out attack now because we may as well burn the rubber off these inters. It's going to be dry on track, actually, maybe on this last lap, because you can see their Bottas is pitting the Renault onto the Ultras. But we're going to carry on then. 2 laps to go. Keep on pushing. The fuel should be fine for both drivers here. And we're closing up to 2nd place. We could get 2nd. This would be a really great job for us. Vettel's gone a little bit slow. Can't get past Vettel. He apologises. But as we go around the final bend, going to use ERS. And this might be just the aid we need. The push to pass button. Come on. Oh, not enough even with the ERS. There we go now. Around the outside. That's more like it, Verstappen. That is more like it. Go high fuel now, mate. Great stuff there. And Gasly going to push away from our in 4th place and just keep that P4. But brilliant stuff there from Verstappen through the first turn. Gets up into 2nd place there. Brings this home. So Hamilton wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Verstappen gets 2nd, Gasly P4, good recovery, last place to 2nd, and that should see us keep the lead of the championship, even if Hamilton got the fast lap as well. I don't know, though, because I think Verstappen set a fast lap of the Grand Prix in the slick conditions, maybe. And Gasly's done pretty okay in P4. He was P6, but he also had that front wing off, so he had to make an extra pit stop. So that's actually quite a damn good recovery, actually. At one point, he was right up behind Verstappen, battling him, even after the pit stop. So he did actually a very good job of recovering. But Hamilton wins the Grand Prix, fair play, breaks our momentum. So Doha now is interesting. You know, there's no real big momentum from our team into Doha. It could be anyone's game here. So this is going to be very, very close for the last race. You know, it will be a must-win race, really, I think. I should think in terms of the points tally and also fast lap of the Grand Prix being up for grabs. Because if we go through to the end now with GMA and whatnot, if it's 7 points for a win. And we did get the fast lap of Grand Prix, actually. So we did a great job at getting those 2 extra points, actually. So silver, but fast lap of the Grand Prix. See, 9 points there. If Hamilton wins Doha, next episode, the finale, if he wins it and gets the fast lap of the Grand Prix, he'll be level on points with us. But then it should go down to who's won the most Grand Prix. And that might just be Verstappen, I think. Maybe. So that's very, very tight. Constructors-wise, 84. That's less tight. I don't think mathematically they can actually even win it. I think, let me quickly check. This might be a mathematical win in the Constructors title. Because let's say they get 27 and 18, 45. Yeah, I mean, don't even know why I need to calculate it. We've won the Constructors already with a Red Bull Honda. So get in there, lads. Get in there. Obviously, it's not official yet, but pretty much we can say we've won the Constructors with Red Bull Honda. Took 2 years in the making. We've done it. A lot of work on the Honda engine, but it's come really good, and we've won the Constructors. So now, next episode, Doha, it's all about just doing the job and trying to get Verstappen that Drivers' Championship. 2.19 in the bank then, and towards the end of the episode, I think we can wrap it up as a very successful one, actually. Could have been a lot worse with how Hamilton was looking, and we were, but then eventually brought it back. You know, the dry period and the other wet period helped out, indefinitely, and then just generally the pace of Verstappen helped out. But it does set up a very interesting finale now. Standings-wise, that's a close one for the championship. But like I said, Verstappen's got... Actually, you know what? I just realised here, there's 7-6. So if Hamilton wins it, he has 7 wins. Verstappen has 7 wins. If Hamilton gets fast out of the Grand Prix, he will be on level points, and we have level wins. I don't know how then they decide who wins the Grand Prix, who wins the championship. So that could be very, very awkward at Doha. So we'll have to see how it goes. But till then, guys, if you did enjoy this one, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around, do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoyed today. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.